Hello friends, welcome back to Dork and Disorderly. Today we're working on the indoor crawler course. I'm adding a hill climb and a couple extra lines, and I know that people are curious about how this process works. I'm no expert, but this is at least my second expansion, so let me show you what I'm doing. Well, first an overview. So I bought this course on Marketplace actually. I got it for $100. The dude brought it over on a flatbed, delivered it. It was great. It was a guy in town. But it's a little basic in that there's only just really the one loop that goes around the outside. And that's really the only lines there are. There's a bunch of wasted space here in the middle, I feel like, and there was only the one line, you can see where the foam isn't, up the side here. So I wanted to do two things with this expansion. One, I wanted to add more difficult lines, because like I got this Apex 18, and there's just really nothing on here that challenges it at all. So I made some steeper lines over here up the side of this hill, and also just to give more variety because there's only one line up here and it's pretty easy for most of the crawlers. So this gives me more options. And before I had added a log bridge from there to there. I also added this plateau. That was me. That wasn't part of the original one. But I had the bridge going from there to there, and I think it just took up too much space. So I'm going to move it back, I think, from the back wall there to the plateau. So I've got more room here to play around with hill climbs and stuff. Better testing ground for cars. I have a few. The first step was clean everything off, take everything off. You didn't get to see that part. Second step was I just used foam. A lot of people use this gap filler foam to create terrain because it's super lightweight and very sturdy. And some people just paint it. So I painted some down here, but it has terrible traction. It's really difficult to get the cars to climb it. It's really slippery, as is only the Apex can get up this right now. So I'm gonna put plaster cloth on it today, and then we'll paint and texture it as well. The worst part is it's winter, so like I'll put that plaster cloth on and it'll take a whole day to cure. And then I'll put a layer of paint on it and that'll take a whole day to cure because stuff just doesn't dry very fast when it's 30 degrees out here. But if you don't do it, it never gets done. So today, plaster cloth. I came up with a different technique. I'm gonna guess I didn't invent it, but it's not one I've seen in a crawler course creation video for applying the plaster cloth, so I'm gonna show that to you. This is plaster cloth. It's just literally cloth, cheesecloth with plaster on it, and when it gets wet, it will be moldable and then harden. All of this, you see, that's all plaster cloth on top of garbage, basically. It's just styrofoam and boxes under there. I'm gonna show you how I make this work. This stuff is super messy. And you're supposed to cut it up and like dip it into a bucket of water, and that just, it doesn't work as great as I wanted it to. It doesn't go exactly where I want it. It sticks to itself. It's hard to get the water right, so I've got a better way I'll show you. Highly recommend rubber gloves. Why? Because this plaster stuff is nasty. Look what it did to my scissors the last time I used it. It gets pretty gross, so wear gloves. You'll be happy about it. And I'm just gonna cut it into manageable strips. Then I'm just gonna lay it on dry. Like, I want it about there, a little bit farther over. So I can kind of get it figured out where I want it. It's not sticking. And then here's the secret sauce. Then I spray it with water. So I get it as wet as I want it to be. I can mold it where I want it, and it doesn't stick to itself in the process. I doubt I invented this technique, but it is working well for me on this particular project. And that just gives you like a rocky, natural texture if you tuck it into all the gaps. It's only the second time I've done this, so there's probably better ways. I'm no expert, but people want to see how it works, and this is the technique that at least worked pretty well for me last time. And if you're a total just like not arts and crafts person, I want to assure you that it can be done. Because I am not an arts and crafts person. See, that's just going to smooth that texture out. You get the idea. So that's all plastered. That little hole I made is plastered, and then getting a wild hair, and I think I might build something up here. There's only one line around over here. Really hard to make this corner as it is, so I'm just thinking like a ramp from like here down to there would make things easier. So let's try some spray foam. That's like a form just to keep it from falling because this stuff is great structurally when it hardens, but before that, it's not so good. Gotta go freehand. The straws only work one time, so if you used it and then let it dry, no dice. So we're just gonna try this. It doesn't look pretty at first, but it gets better, probably, he said, hopefully. I'm also revamping this ramp on the left side of the course because I understand what it's supposed to be, but it's just really easy. Nothing even struggles with it. It's just like a connector section at this point. So I'm thinking like log piles, like a log. I'll put some more up here maybe. for the cars to tackle, but I have no shortage of sticks and logs and branches around the house here, so I just started with that little bit. I'm just gonna hot glue it down, I think. That'll look the best. I can paint over the entrances with a little bit of brown, but it mostly dries clear. Just put some screws there to hold it because it's a little bit of a hill. It keeps the stuff from moving around. I just tested it with the 4Runner SCX24 and it seemed fine. So let's start with this one little obstacle and see how it works. Give her a shot. I know, I'm no expert on hot gluing. I just started doing it when I started making this project the first time, so there's probably a better way to do this, but it is what it is. I assume that if like the glue is attached to the things you're trying to glue down, and it's also attached to the things you're gluing it to, you're probably doing okay. No expert, but that seems like the bare minimum criteria. So many jizz strings. I don't love it. I don't love it. Arts and crafts, not my strong suit, but those can all come off later. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Really? That was bad spacing on my part. The middle one's gotta go. Move it down. How glued is it? Pretty glued. Ah. Dude, that hot glue was good. Ah. I guess I could run a hairdryer over it, heat it back up. Let's see, I'm gonna have to repaint this now. That's probably gonna happen anyway. That's not too bad. It needs to be farther down. Far down enough that it doesn't affect the approach to the other one. No big deal. Gotta paint it anyway, probably. We'll do some stuff, make some stuff work, do some things. Better hope this works. Yeah, that's good. Oh, they're too close together again. And that's not very secure. That's gonna need a little bit of a kicker. That's why we test things. It's too... Damn it. There's just no clearance. Stupid. I'm annoyed. Okay, more gluing. Okay, it is the end of day one, and I've just applied the first coat of spray paint, so you saw all the plaster cloth. It's mostly dry with a little help from my heater friend here, since it's freaking cold out here and stuff doesn't want to dry. So I like to just do a black base coat, and that way if I miss anything on a second coat, it'll at least just have black behind it, and I have black, so I use my paint sparingly. There is a pro tip I'd like to share with you if you're planning on doing this. This stuff is the best paint I've seen because it is the least glossy paint you can get because it's literally designed to fade into the terrain and look like terrain. It's camouflage paint, and I used it and several other types of paint on this part, and man, it really is just flat and earthy looking, looks like stone and rocks and dirt. So highly recommend this camouflage paint if you're making one of these for yourself, and I'll put a link in the description if I happen to remember. But there's really nothing left to do except let this dry overnight. I mean, I could come back in an hour and see if it's dry and spray some more on, but I think I'm probably done for today, so we'll come back tomorrow and put some more spray paint on it. Actually, I might texture it next and then let that dry overnight, and then we'll spray paint over the top of that. That's what I did here. I don't know. It does look good with kind of just the texture out too. I will decide tomorrow. I have no idea. I don't really have a plan. Just kind of winging it. But that's day one of the mini crawl course upgrade. First two layers of paint are dry. It's looking actually really good. It's hard to believe that this kind of cool, uneven terrain was that stupid looking foam like a day ago. This plaster cloth is like miraculous. And it's just like, if you feel like you have no artistic talent, which is me, like I'm not a crafty person, it's amazing how well it turns out. The process is mostly idiot proof because no matter how stupid the foam looks or whatever else you put underneath, a lot of times people just use garbage. Like up top there, I just use a rolled up paper towel. But once you get that plaster cloth on and just kind of tuck it in, it looks really cool. So now that that's done for the expansion, I'm gonna add some texture. Let me show you what I mean. Like this, like I did on the existing parts. So the biggest problem with these things that I see people have is that this stuff, just the plaster cloth, there's no traction here. And when the wheels spin, it just rubs the paint off and it looks like crap. So if you add some grit, some traction, it won't tear the paint up because the tires aren't spinning, and you can actually climb a lot more realistically because the tires can get grip. So the best way I found to do that, at least so far, is some stuff I got in the floral section at Walmart. This is just rocks, like little decorative rocks. And this is a bag of sand.
It feels like a bag of sand.
That literally you can get in the floral section at Walmart, but You could also just go to the beach or wherever there is sand. But I'm just gonna use some Mod Podge. There's a spray-on glue, it doesn't work as well. This brush-on stuff works really well. I don't have a ton of either one of these, so I'm just gonna demonstrate it kind of for you, but I'm probably gonna have to get more before I can finish this. But I'd like to get some on and get it started drying. So the idea is you just put a layer of this on, and then you put the sand, and it holds it there, and then it dries clear and you can't see it. This is all like super Mod Podged. Like there was a ton of it on there, and the glue all dries clear, and it just looks like rocky terrain. So let's put some on. Kind of get a layer going so that the sand has something to stick to. It's just a lot thinner. The brush on stuff you can do a lot thicker. So stuff will stick to this, but you gotta kind of work at it. And you can't really cover it up the way you can with the other stuff. But this hill section is first. The stuff kind of smells like bubblegum. I'm probably getting high and killing brain cells right now, but this is the small price to pay for art, you know, for the ability to crawl in my garage. You're gonna have extra. I don't even sweat it. I just vacuum the rest up when I'm done. But just to see. Gonna put some sand on. Yeah, it doesn't stick super well on the downhill surfaces with just a thin layer. You gotta kind of spread it around with the paintbrush when the time comes. I should have got a bigger jar. That's what I'll do next time, so I can actually dip the paintbrush in here easily. It's kind of hard with this small one. And yeah, it looks like freaking paste, like some of you, like me, probably ate in preschool, but trust me when I say it dries clear. So you can just go kind of crazy with it. Not worry about it too much. This other one looked awful when I first did it, and it dried super duper clear. And the brush, when you do it this way, will kind of pick up some of the sand. So now I'm brushing sand and glue onto the vertical surfaces, which is nice. It's ugly. This is the ugliest part, I'm telling you right now, but it is so worth it. You don't have to repaint all the time, and your tires can actually get grip in a lot more realistic way. There's more of this in here than I thought, which is good. It is spreading and sticking that sand all over the place, which is what we want. But the brush is better than just the spray. It has been a day or so. It is winter. It is rarely above 40 degrees Fahrenheit out here, so the drying process is slow, but I've been running a heater while I'm out here. I'm not leaving it unattended, but it is mostly dry. The glue, as you can see, is mostly clear. There's just a couple spots like that where it's still kind of white, but even that dries clear, I promise. You can see all of this, that has all been glued, and it's all mostly clear. So just so you could get a sense, I also put some spray paint over some. I'm gonna do some touch-up, shading, whatever you wanna call it. I'm not great at painting, but when you mix all these colors together, it usually looks pretty good. But you can see there's two options really. You can just leave the dirt on top, which looks fine, or you can paint over it. I like to do a combination of the two. The original line was just here. Everything from there to there is new, and it just still amazes me how that foam looks so stupid, but when you put the plaster cloth on it and throw some paint on it, it looks really good. A lot of variety here, several different lines I can see. Got, you know, kind of a pooch out here with a plateau on top. So definitely more challenging and more options than it was before. And then up here, everything to the left of that big rain rut you see is new. So that's all the foam I sprayed, and then I just put some plaster cloth over the front of that box just because it looks stupid. And this is the difference between satin paint and flat paint, which is why I recommend that camouflage paint so much. But there is a new line on the left there, and it's also just widened this whole line. So it just gives us a ton more options on the right side of the course, and that was a minimal amount of work. I can't wait anymore. I need to run this. So if I get a little paint on the tires, it's not the end of the world. I think it's mostly fine, but I want you guys to see how well it works, and I want to see how well it works. So let's start with my mostly stock 4Runner. Go up kind of the sideline. The first most obvious one seems doable. Not too steep with this rig. You see how much better the grip is? That the grit is like a massive win. This is a stock motor too, so it doesn't have a great slow crawl. But look at that. No problems whatsoever. Let's come back down. Oh yeah. Grip, grip. The only upgrades on this one are tires and wheels. Yeah, come on. Oh, am I high centered or what? No, just not getting the grip. There we go. There we go. There we go. Ooh, yeah. Challenging but not impossible. This is my custom SCX 24. This is the most built project I've done, but let's see if it can get up it. My only concern with this one is it's a little top heavy. Yeah, that's what I want to see. So I want it to be a little more challenging. One of the reasons I built this was because there's nothing that's super challenging on this course, so I wanted this side to be kind of the optional hard lines that I try with the better rigs. And then they tip over. Got a little plaster on this, you can see it. Ugh, come on, bro. It's a little top heavy, this one. I need to bring the suspension down. There we go, come on, come on. Slow crawl it. You got this. Hey, yeah. Yeah. Can it do the top line? I don't know. Oh my God, I was not expecting that. Awesome, dude. Oh yeah. Oh my God, this thing is shockingly good. Look at that. The grip is so good. Oh, we're stuck on the bumper. Nailed it. Nailed it. There's a little bit more touch-up painting to do, which I'm going to do today, but you get the idea. Hopefully that gives you a sense of the process if you're trying to do this yourself. This is only the second time I have expanded this course, and it turns out incredibly well. So my point is it's not difficult, and it's really easy to cover up your mistakes if you make them. So if you've been thinking about doing this, building a crawler course, even a smaller one or expanding one you have, I would say just go for it, because you learn as you go, and it is so easy to cover up your mistakes. It doesn't matter really if you make them. I think it turned out great. I'm excited to continue to test cars on this, and more expansions to come, because I put the rope bridge back. One, that's not the permanent mount, but there's no way off of the plateau right now, so I want something else over here. And I added these log crawls, which makes this section a lot better. But if you have crawler course building tips, please leave them in the comments for people who maybe haven't done this before, or just encouragement to say, like, it's not hard, you can do it, trust me, even if you're not crafty, and I am not crafty, but I have crafted this mini mountain. So we're going to do a lot more crawler tests, more RC crawling content. So if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, because here at Dork and Disorderly, I break my stuff so you don't have to. Thank you for watching, and I'll RC you later.